There are many tools that astronomers use to do astronomy, but there is one tool that is by far the most important, the telescope. We use telescopes to observe different objects in the night sky, but how exactly do they work, and why are they important for astronomy? Let's think about what happens when we look at a star in the night sky. The star sends out light in all directions. Some of the light is pointed towards the Earth. When this light reaches the Earth, we can collect it in light buckets. Our eyes can collect some of this light, but we can use much larger light buckets, like telescopes, to collect a lot more of the light. Now, if we take a closer look at our telescope, we can see that the light is reflected off mirrors, which focus it down onto a camera at the bottom. If we look closer still, we can see that the camera is actually made up of lots of small light-sensing elements called pixels. These pixels in the camera turn the light into electrical signals that we can count and turn into a brightness measurement. There are usually tens to hundreds of millions of these tiny pixels in the camera, each collecting little bits of light. These translate to the pixels in our image. The more light we collect, the clearer our image will be. A telescope can collect a lot more light than our eyes can, which is why they are such a key tool in astronomy. Telescopes enable us to see all sorts of objects in the night sky, even the very faint and dim ones. So now we know how a telescope collects light and a camera records the images. But how can we use a telescope in another part of the world? Las Cumbres Observatory has many telescopes at lots of different sites across the world, with its education network of 0.35-meter telescopes spread over most of these locations. There are two ways that we can use these telescopes. We can connect to a telescope and use it directly, or we can ask the whole network to get us an image. In both cases, the way we communicate with the telescopes is fairly similar. Regardless of whether you request an image from a telescope in real time or from the whole network, your computer sends a message to the cloud. The cloud will then send this request to either the telescope directly or to the LCO scheduling software, depending on how you made your request. With a scheduled request, the scheduler will organize a suitable observatory site and time to take your observation. Once a telescope receives the message either directly from the cloud or through the scheduler, it will move to the object and start collecting light to make an image. Once it has collected light for the requested amount of time, it will send that image back to be stored for later. That image gets stored in an archive where all the images are stored. Your computer will be able to pick up your image from the archive and display it on your screen, ready for you to use and ready for you to access in the future. In this course, you will learn how to both request an image from the entire network, as well as drive a telescope directly. But first, let's think about what we could take a picture of